1.
I think being a game changer is anyone who is willing to use new tools and approaches and brings a different mindset to the existing environment.
2.
I'm currently in a new role as of about 6 months ago, and while this is definitely a very challenging environment, I've got to say my previous role working in outside plant engineering has to have been the most challenging role. And most of that is due to the fact that the systems and the processes that we've got in place are very rigid. So trying to bring about change to the game ends up being difficult in that type of environment. The slightest change disrupts everyone else in the process, and you take a step back for a little while trying to change things, but ultimately you do change things for the better, and things slowly get better. Your most challenging work is often your most rewarding, especially when you can be successful. And working in outside plant engineering has been the most rewarding. The pace of change is slower, but the fact that you're bringing a whole organization along with you on that change, and you're touching so many people and making them look at the business differently, there's just a great, rewarding feeling in doing that.
3.
SDN is still very new to us. You know, in the short term, we actually just recently announced that we'll be doing virtualization of firewalls using an SDN type of approach. And right now we're looking at the SDN platform in general and the right architecture. So the near term for us is really testing out some use cases and getting some knowledge about how this works. And that ultimately will lead to the long term, you know, making sure we've got the right architecture, flexible, interoperable platform that will allow customers to make their changes on the fly, and involve less human touch, more automation. For our employees as a business and our teams, it's going to be a much different approach, and there's going to, you know, have to be a lot of training involved with getting them up to speed with what does SDN mean in general, you know, configuring the hardware, the software, how do you capacity manage the SDN data center, the transport, the access network. There's really a lot that we're going to have to learn over the next few years on this.
4.
I mean, like, you know, many other legs, we've got an aging copper infrastructure. So some of the things that we're doing is identifying, you know, all of our copper customers where we also have Fios and fiber in place. This helps us by making sure that anytime that customer has any sort of trouble, that we're able to move them over to a fiber platform, you know, and thereby eliminating the troubles that we see. I think the challenge there is some customers are reluctant to move over because they're used to what they had with the copper network. So what we really need to do, and we've started doing this, is really just educating our customer base around why fiber is more reliable. So we've done some of that, but we've got a long way to go still to make sure that customers understand that the Fios network and fiber networks are much more reliable than our copper network.
5.
We've got a lot of things in the hopper this year going into next year. We just recently announced that we were successful in some trials with NG-PON 2. This is the next generation of GPON, where we can offer customers 10 gigs or more of service. So we just completed this just recently in terms of the trial. We've got our OTT video platform that we're in the middle of building. This is for both wireless, wireline, and the acquisition of AOL earlier this year certainly helps with that strategy. We're looking at our SDN platform. We're testing out use cases, putting together an architecture to support SDN in the future. We've been, if you look at everything that we're doing, I think we're supporting both the network side in order to support Internet of Things, and then also I think the Internet of Things itself. We just announced Hum, which is our connected car solution. So I think on both sides of the equation, we are supporting the advancement of the Internet of Things, from a bandwidth perspective and also from a product and application perspective. So I think next year is going to be an awesome and busy year.